Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Friends, today we are going to study the Maha Mangala Sutta, or the discourse on blessings from the Sutta Nipata. The word Maha means great, highest, or most excellent, and Mangala means blessings, a cause of our success, safety, and achieve progress, well-being, and happiness to all beings in all the worlds, in the present and the future. In all sections of the Indian society at the time of the Buddha, there was speculation about what Mangala or blessing means. And finally, the question was asked of the Buddha. Mangala was thought to be good luck in a worldly sense. But Buddha gave it a spiritual interpretation for the molding of a wholesome and skillful being, which is directly practical and may be used by all classes regardless of sex or status, race, or religion. The Buddha shifted the responsibility to a wise individual's rational reasoning, social obligations, and self-confidence. That's why this sutta is so popular and is daily chanted in all Buddhist circles and even among non-Buddhists. The Buddha begins at the mundane level and ends at the supramundane, or the world transcending level. Now, I must tell you that I will be using the Pali verses also, because I want you to hear them. And of course, I will give you the meaning of them, right? So, do you want me to chant them, or shall I just say them as a, just like a verse? Anyway, I'll see. The first verse of the Buddha is Asevanacha balanang panditanancha sevana pujacha pujaniyanang etang mangalang uttamang. Now that is the Pali which the Buddha used, which means not to associate with fools, to associate with the wise, and pay honor to those worthy of honor. This is the highest blessing. So says the Buddha. Now let us see this first verse. Bala means weak, foolish, stupid, rough in behavior, without a sense of judgment, and heedless of Dhamma. Three types types of fools are in the world. One, those evil in thought, then evil in speech, and evil in action. They have no rules or regulations, and their lives will not be happy or peaceful, and will bring fear, destruction, and suffering to oneself and others. So, one should stay away from them, for they could influence you too. But an advanced person who is self-controlled with loving kindness and compassion may live among Bala in order to lead them to be better, for though his body moves with them, with the Bala, his mind should be beyond their influence. The Bala cannot influence the wise person. Pandita is a wise person who is able to advise in times of need, has noble thoughts, thinks clearly, with good conduct, follows the Dhamma, and is self-controlled. Then the next phrase in the verse is Pujacha Pujaniyana, is to show respect and homage to those worthy of being respected, like the Buddha and his Aryan disciples, holy persons, parents, teachers, elders, older siblings, etc. Some do not show respect because of pride, for they think of themselves so highly that they do not want to admit that there may be others who have achieved more than them in the mundane world, as well as the spiritual. Their pride will lead them to other defilements, like pride, and then comparing with other people and thinking, well, I'm better, I'm greater, like that. So, to other defilements of mind, and they cannot advance in life. Respectful people will adorn any society and be able to move with both high and low and learn from any situation. So, they will progress in life. The practice of honoring the worthy is the basis of humility. The next verse is Patirupa desa vasocha ubbeja katapunyata atta samma panidhicha etang Mangala uttamang, which means to reside in a suitable location, patirupa desa, suitable location, to have good past deeds done, ubbeja katapunyata, to set oneself in the right direction. This is a blessing supreme. You can see how the Buddha goes from the associate to the dwelling place. One must have a proper place to live. It must be comfortable for life to be safe and happy, with good neighbors, a quarrelsome neighborhood where the climate is unsuitable, where floods, scarcity of supplies, earthquakes, epidemics like now, etc., is the norm, and the residents are distrustful of each other, unfriendly, one may not be able to practice the Dhamma. Most people think only of the material benefits like food, water, medicine, education, transport, etc. But later regret their thoughtlessness when their dependents are led astray. So, it's vital and important to think of these matters more seriously. Pubbecha kata punyata. Pubbe means the past. So maybe the past in the present life, or it may be also the many existences we have been through in the past. It's a blessing to have done good deeds intentionally with body, speech, and mind, without lobha or greed, dosa or ill will, moha or delusion. In the past, right? In the past means even in this present life, in the past of this present life. It's the best inheritance, for one starts life with a great advantage, such as good health, beauty, wealth, wisdom, etc. You see, now when you see people in the world, you can see some have everything in life. Why? Because they have the pubbe kata punyata, that means that in the past they have done good things. So, atta samma panidicca. Now comes the next one. That is, in order to receive the power of the past merit, one should do good karma now. Even if you have not done earlier in the past, if you do now, it will be to your advantage. So, and also encourage others to do so. One must have a proper goal or aim and set oneself in the right path, leading to it by gaining self-confidence with effort. Then it's not necessary to pray for outside help in the mundane sphere or supramundane. Further, if one has broken the precepts, it's necessary to become morally stable. If lacking in faith, to gain faith. If miserly, become generous. This is also directing oneself rightly. Then one will not have enemies in this life and in future lives too. The next verse is Bahu Sachancha Sippancha Vinayocha Susikkito Subhasitacha Yavacha Etang Mangalang Uttaman, which means gaining vast knowledge, gaining various kinds of arts and sciences, gaining in well-trained discipline, such as etiquette, speech, etc., is a noble blessing. Now, much learning causes one to abandon the unwholesome, blameworthy behavior and achieve the wholesome, skillful way, and finally realize the supreme truth. The 10 unwholesome karma are, you may be knowing them even, but still I thought I'll just give them: killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, speaking untruth, malicious, harsh, useless speech, ill will, covetousness, and wrong view. Those are the unwholesome karma. The wholesome karma are generosity, morality, meditation, reverence, service, transference of merit, rejoicing in others' merit, explaining the Dhamma, listening to the Dhamma, and straightening one's right view. Even secular learning is a blessing, and if blameless, will lead to well-being and happiness. Bad learning is using one's knowledge to harm others, like inventing weapons for mass destruction. Our learning should be beneficial, with wisdom and compassion. The word susikkito is to be well trained in discipline, both secular and spiritual. We should respect other religions and their places of worship. The other blessing is use of pleasant speech. The Buddha spoke the truth always, at the right time, to the right person, at the right place, with kindness and compassion, or kept noble silence. We should follow the Buddha's example. The next verse is Mata Pitu Upattanam Uttadarasya Sangaho Anakulacha Kammanta Etang Mangalang Uttamang, which means to be well caring of mother, of father, looking after spouse and children, to engage in a harmless occupation. This is a blessing supreme. Looking after and caring for one's parents when they are old by washing their feet, giving a massage, bathing them, and providing them with the 4 requisites is a way of repaying the help, kindness that was given to one. They are very helpful to their children, desire their well-being. Since they raise them, nurture them, and show them this world, they are considered the first teachers. Therefore, attending on them bring praise here, and after death brings happiness in heaven. Uttadarasya Sangaho means honoring the wife, not slighting or degrading her, not being unfaithful, giving her authority, and providing her with ornaments and other necessities. This means cherishing one's wife and children. This applies to the wife also, regards one's husband, leaving aside the section about ornaments, leaving that out. The rest is the same for both. Next one, the next words in that verse are Anakulacha kammanta. One's work must be, whatever work, the job that you are doing, must be honest. You must be honest at the work. Go to the workplace in time and so on. Harmless, not harming anybody, not even animals. Suitable and done completely without laziness in order to secure wealth, harmony in the home, and satisfaction and happiness. The next verse is Danancha Dhamma Charyacha Nyata Kanancha Sangaho Anavajjani Kammani Etang Mangalang Uttaman, which means selfless giving. You see, giving must be done without thinking of the self. Living the just life. Supporting all relatives and blameless action. This is a blessing supreme. According to the Buddha, generosity brings a double blessing to the donor. That is, it hinders immoral and selfish thoughts while cultivating unselfishness. And giving, when you give, weakens our underlying greed in the mind. Like a seed that needs water and soil to grow, we need volition, wisdom, and effort to understand the law of cause and effect, to develop wholesomeness. Otherwise, we will not think of it. You see? So, we need these three things. What are the things? Volition, that is thinking, wisdom, and effort. Dana can be speech, thought, and mind too. For a friendly smile, words of goodwill may bring happiness and consolation to others. The Dhamma Dana given by monastics excels all other dana, and one becomes dear and agreeable to many people, and results will be felt here and in the future lives, not only to the person who is giving the dana, but also to the ones who are listening. Living the holy life means letting go, not grasping. Dhammacharya is the practice of Dhamma. By observing the 5 precepts daily, if you break the precepts, take again and go from there. And 8 precepts on Posatha days. You know, Posatha days are the Hoya days, that is the full moon and the new moon. Those are special days in the Buddhist calendar. So, social service, planting gardens, trees, etc. for public use. Then Natakanancha Sangaho. That means relatives. Nyata means relatives. Relatives are one's maternal and paternal relations through 7 generations. Now, of course, today, even In one's own generation, you forget your relatives. But Buddha says, for 7 generations past, we have to think of all the relatives. And if they need help, it's one's duty to assist them. This is mutually supportive, for when one is in trouble, they would rally round too. Then blameless deeds, anavajjani kammani, means not engaging in wrong actions by body, speech, and mind. The next verse is Arati virati papa majjapanacha sanyamo appamadocha dhammesu etang mangalang uttamang. Means to cease and abstain from evil, complete restraint from intoxicants, to be diligent in virtuous practices. This is a blessing supreme. Now, arati means abstaining from evil in the mind, body, and speech. Having seen danger in it, total eradication, or by undertaking precepts. These are the ways of, abandoning the evil in our minds. This is possible by thoughts of one's family. You think of, my family is such and such. How can I do this? When you come to think of doing something bad. So, think of the family, social status, education, etc. These are the excuses you can give yourself not to do these things. Evil is killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, and false speech. The Buddha has shown the evil consequences of taking intoxicants. Now, these are the consequences. Loss of wealth, get involved in quarrels, fall ill, loss of one's good name, indecent exposure of the body, and weakening of intelligence. The other blessing is being mindful, which is essential in daily living and also to achieve higher spiritual attainments. Mindfulness is something that all of us should practice. The next verse is Garavoja Nivatocha Santutticha Katanyuta Kalena Dhamma Savanang Etang Mangalang Uttamang, which means to be reverent and humble, content and grateful, to hear the Dhamma at the right time. This is a blessing supreme. To revere those that should be honored, like the Buddha, parents, elders, teachers, etc., disregarding their age, sex, religions, race, or nationality, is a blessing. Humility is a lovable quality, for one becomes gentle and easy to talk to, without conceit and stubbornness. These two, humility and being without conceit, these two are interdependent and can suppress hatred and pride. When these two defilements are reduced, we will not harm each other. The third blessing is to be content with what one has and earn or gain by one's effort, not by stealing or anything like that. The third blessing is to be content. Yes, that's what I read just now. This helps to abandon excessive evil desire and is a preparation for practicing the noble eightfold path. Gratitude is recognizing and repeatedly remembering the help given by someone, whether little or much. That's a very great quality to have, gratitude. While this causes merit for you, it's a blessing. We should be most grateful to the Buddha for showing us the way to be noble and how to penetrate the Dhamma. The Buddha says that it's rare to find a person who will initiate to help others and one who is grateful and thankful for what has been received. Timely hearing of the Dhamma is a blessing. While in good health, on Uposatha days, when sick and suffering, to understand the truth before death, when one has freedom to listen, to settle the mind when disturbed by sensual thoughts, listening to the Dhamma will be a great help. In these ways, it's possible to abandon the hindrances and taints. Next verse is Kanticha sova chassata samananancha dassanam kalena dhamma sakaccha etang mangalang uttamam. Which means to be patient and obedient, the seeing of recluses, to discuss the Dhamma at the right time. This is a blessing supreme. To be patient, we have to suppress anger on 3 levels. 1, outward. 2, thought. 3, root level. The first is by not using harsh, abusive speech or harming others. The second is by concentration with meditation. The third is by understanding the cause for anger, etc. One must be satisfied with the environment, food, accommodation, etc. Also be able to bear insults or abuse, accept and forgive and tolerate them, so that whatever enters through the senses keep one's peace intact. For patience is the basis of loving kindness or metta. Unless we have patience, we cannot practice metta also. It's a great power. Next is sovachassa, meaning obedient, which is very similar to patience. For one accepts advice and is willing to learn and correct. The third blessing is seeing a recluse, serving, hearing those who have stilled the defilements with good behavior, mind and wisdom. This especially refers to the disciples of the Buddha at that time. The Buddha said, even seeing such monks, of course monks and nuns both, is helpful. Timely discussion of the Dhamma is a blessing, for it will help to clear doubts, purify the mind, and help in gaining wisdom. The next verse is Tapocha Brahmacharyacha Ariya Satchana Dassanam Nibbana Satchi Kiriyacha Etang Mangalang Uttamang, which means to live austerely and purely, to see the noble truths, the Four Noble Truths, and to realize Nibbana. This is a blessing supreme. So you can see how from the mundane level, Buddha has now reached the supra-mundane level. This marks the change from the material to the sphere of effort, exertion, and practice. Now, the inner virtues being cultivated. Now all this time we have been talking of virtues, right? So now by this time whoever has undertaken this practice has practiced them now. So one enters the path towards realization. Tapo means austerity, restrains the senses, burns up longing, dejection, and laziness, and causes the arising of jhanas and higher attainments. Living purely is being celibate and having right view and following the Eightfold Path. Seeing the Noble Truths is the result of following the path and overcoming the suffering of rebirth. Finally, realize Nibbana. One attains Sotapanna, which is the first step. This is a blessing. Puttassa loka dhammehi chittang yassana kampati asokang virajang kemang etang mangalang uttamang means a mind unshaken when touched by the worldly states. That is, gain, non-gain, fame, dishonor, praise, blame, pleasure, pain. We find all these things in the world, right? And we experience them. So when these things come, by this time, the Arahant is not worried, whatever comes. So, sorrowless, stainless, and secure. This is a blessing supreme. This is about the Arahant, whose mind is unshakable by anything, for it's sorrowless from inner grief and mental distress. It is dust free because it is free of lust, hatred, and delusion. It is secure because it's free of the bonds of sensuality, craving for existence, views, and ignorance. This is the blessing supreme, the Buddha says. Etadisani katvana, this is the last verse. Sabbattam aparajita, sabbatta sotting gachanti, tang te sang mangalang uttamanti. Which means, those who have fulfilled all these are everywhere invincible. They find well-being everywhere. Theirs is the blessing supreme. After speaking of 38 blessings, the Buddha said, those who have done these things are everywhere victorious. They cannot be defeated by aggregates, defilements, or volition. They go about safely. Now I'll just, because it might be useful, I'm going to give you the 38 blessings. Not to associate with fools. Associate the wise. Venerate those worthy of veneration. Residing in a suitable place. Having done merit in the past. Set oneself in the right direction. Great learning. Craft. Discipline well trained. well-spoken speech, that is 10. Now I go from there. 11. Care for mother, care for father, look after spouse, look after children, engage in a harmless occupation, be generous, righteous conduct, assist one's relatives, blameless deeds, abstaining from evil, that is 20 now, refraining from intoxicants, being heedful, reverence, humility, contentment, gratitude, listening to the Dhamma, patience, obedient, that is listens to advice, austerity, that is 30 now, sense restraint, see the noble truths, realize Nibbana, mind unshaken by worldly states, sorrowless mind, dust-free mind, secure mind, having done these are victorious everywhere. So that is the Mangala Sutta, Maha Mangala Sutta. If you have any questions, please ask. No question? Okay, then shall we do a little meditation? Now today I thought we'll do a metta meditation. So please sit down well, comfortably, with your upper part of the body straight, with the head on your neck and straight with the spine. Keep your hands in front. You're ready now? Take a few deep breaths. Close your eyes. May I be safe from dangers. May I be peaceful and free from mental suffering. May I be healthy, free from physical suffering. May I take care of myself and live happily. May my teachers, parents, and my loved ones be safe from danger. May my parents, teachers, and loved ones be peaceful and free from mental suffering. May my parents, teachers, and loved ones be healthy, free from physical suffering. May my parents, teachers, and loved ones take care of themselves and live happily. May my relatives and friends be safe from dangers. May my relatives and friends be peaceful and free from mental suffering. May my relatives and friends be healthy, free from physical suffering. May my relatives and friends take care of themselves and live happily. May all neutral people, like the mailman and you meet on the road, you meet on the road, be safe from danger. May all neutral people be peaceful and free from mental suffering. May all neutral persons be healthy, free from physical suffering. May all neutral persons take care of themselves and live happily. May all hostile persons be safe from dangers. May all hostile persons be peaceful and free from mental suffering. May all hostile persons be healthy, free from physical suffering. May all hostile persons take care of themselves and live happily. May all beings in the world be safe from danger. Send out your loving thoughts to the whole world. May all beings in the world be peaceful and free from mental suffering. May all beings in the world be healthy, free from physical suffering. May all beings in the world take care of themselves and live happily. Slowly open your eyes. If you have any questions, please ask. Yes, oh, good.
What does the word Mangala mean? Is it joy or
The word given by Bhikkhu Bodhi is in the Sutta Nipata. It's given as blessings. But then other words like a course for success, safety, achieve progress, well-being and happiness to all beings in all the worlds, in the present and the future. All those are given in the Sutta Nipata as meaning. Yes. So the word Mangala in Pali is a very, very sort of big, it has a lot of meaning. But when you turn it into the English word, it becomes a little sort of less in meaning. That's what happened. Yeah. All the words are like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Anyone who has any question? No?
Yes. I have a question. What is Pali?
Pali actually is not the language that Buddha really used. The Buddha used the Magadhi language because Buddha was from Magadha. But Pali is the closest that the commentators could get to the Buddha's language. What else? No? Nothing else?
Also, speaking of Pali, do you know online, is there somewhere we can go and hear the, the Pali chanting? What do you call that? The
Spirit.
huh?
Spirit.
Puja?
The Paritta.
Spirit.
Yes, spirit.
Yeah.
Parit.
Pirit in Sinhala.
And
Paritta
Parit.
in Pali.
Yes, Paritta is in Pali.
Yeah.
The chanting that we did at Bhavana, I don't know what you call that, every morning in Pali language.
Yes, when we were, here, when we had the class, the programs here, we did that too. Here.
Where
Yeah.
can we go on internet and hear people chanting?
Yeah, if you all like to, we can just chant a few of the ones that we did today, the Mangala Sutta.
Okay.
Would all of you like to chant a few of those? Not all, because it will take a long time otherwise.
Yeah.
Okay, you know the Sutta, do you? Or if I start, can you all join?
Sure. I'll try.
Okay. Here is the book.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. So I'll go from the first one that we and choose a few of those, right? Okay. Let's start. All of you please join. Asevana
Balanang
Pandita
Panditanang
Sevana Puja
Puja Pujaniyan Etam Mangalamuttamang.
Okay, now another one from further down, right? Mata Pitu
Upattanang
Uttadarasa Sanghaho Anakulacha
Kammanta Etan Mangala Muttamang.
So let us take the few last ones. Uttasalogadammi Ittang yasana kampati Asokang virajang kemang Etam mangalam uttamang Etadani katana Sabbat Maparajita. Sabbatta
Sabbatta
sotting
sotting
gachanti tang te
Tante
sang
sang
mangalam
Mangala
uttamanti.
Muttamanti.